And we're back. So, you know why you aren't where you want to be? It's because it's you. It's because it is you. And it's always been you. You are the one stopping you. And until you accept that it's you that's stopping you, it's you that's giving you the excuses, it's you that is saying, I can't, you'll just stay where you are. And I'm reminded of this because in my live yesterday, there was someone who asked me a question and they said, how can I get out of this bad cycle? And I said, well, first, the fact that you label it a bad cycle may be an area that you can reconsider, because everything in life is teaching us something. So instead of saying, what's up, cool Aaron? Instead of saying this is a bad cycle, I offered to look at why you're in this cycle. A cycle is a circle. What am I not learning? What have I not adjusted to? What have I not grown into or grown out of that's keeping me in this cycle? Because everything can be used for our growth when we allow it. When we stop saying they did this. No, put it back to you. How can you grow in this situation? How can you be more powerful in this situation? What do you now know that you can use from this situation? And then the person in the live went on to say, I would love to lose weight, but it's a habit. Okay, let's stop there. Because habits are learned. Habits can be learned and they can be let go of. So using that excuse, because here's the reality, it's an excuse. If you want it bad enough, you will not say it's a habit that I start something and I end it. You just don't want it bad enough. You got to be honest with yourself. You aren't doing whatever it takes. In fact, I can make an assumption that even prior to starting, you know that you aren't going to finish. And if that's the case, how could you ever be successful in any endeavor? You've given yourself the excuse. I can't do it because of this habit. Okay, don't do the habit anymore. That's it. End the habit. See yourself as better. See yourself as completion. See yourself as the one who no longer has the excuse and only has the win. There's a saying that goes, there's only two things. There's reasons or there's results. Reasons don't matter. The reason why I didn't do it is because, okay, then so what? Make it happen. The reason why I can't, no. There is no option outside of the result. How badly do you want it? And I'm reminded of this because during this journey to this TED Talk, I felt all of that. And I understand. I also had someone in my live that said, the only problem is fear. No, you have to understand, we aren't the same. There is no difference than anyone who's accomplished anything other than they feel the fear and they do it anyway. Anyone who has accomplished anything, they feel that fear. They feel that anxiousness. They feel that nervousness. They feel that discomfort. Really, it's the fear of the unknown. The only difference is they just keep continuing. The fear is not the reason to stop. For me, the fear is the reason to continue. And that's what separates the two. It can be encouraging to say, wow, I feel this fear and I will keep going. I feel this discomfort and yeah, it is not the best feeling and I'm going to keep going. Because having that result of completion is far more fulfilling than the feeling of fear. And I had also said, it doesn't do anything to stop. So yes, you feel the fear and you just keep going because stopping doesn't do anything. Thank you for liking the live, Stephanie Living. It keeps you in that same space. It keeps you from getting to the goal, getting to the dream, getting to what's next. You know what fear feels like. How about imagining the feeling of the win? And it comes down to the excuse, the story that we tell ourselves. We get to make up these stories. The story of I always win. Even if you don't, just telling yourself that may create that story of I am the winner instead of I never win. It never works out for me. It's never worked out for anyone in my family. No. You have to change your story. You have to change the story first. And it will be uncomfortable. That's a part of it. However, that small time, feeling this discomfort, feeling the unknown, is a short amount of time. However, the confidence that comes from completion, from continuing, yes, T, 2 cents, sometime this week. Good to see you. It has been sent. T, 2 cents, who's in the chat, who's also a hopeful, is asking about the TED Talk that I gave on October 7th in Germany. It has been sent to the TEDx YouTube platform. However, from what I've been told, TED has its own checks that they do to ensure everything is fulfilled on their end. So within the next few days, I was told by the end of the week, so I will make a post and I will let you know because there are quite a few people who are asking about, Hope, your TED Talk. Yes, it went great. I'm so excited for it to be posted. It will be posted. It's in their possession. And this talk on this live is a little about that because I didn't do anything the TED way. I was really authentic to myself, which that's what I learned. I learned, especially with this TED Talk, the beauty is within you. The beauty is within you, your authenticity, your voice, something that you do. And I had shared yesterday in my live about just all of those feelings going to the TED Talk because there was that element of I need to do this, this, and this, even though it's not what I normally do. It's not how I normally speak. And there were 3 pivotal things that happened. I told myself, Hope, get clear, get quiet, it will come. Secondly, during a few of the dress rehearsals, most of them were online because I'm here in the US and I spoke in Germany. Some of the feedback that I received was, what happened? This isn't you. You motivate. Motivate. I know Ted loves statistics and studies and quotations, but you motivate. So go motivate. And hearing those words and also knowing it was me that got me there. This isn't the time to change the wheel. Within those three things, I learned that just continue with what I have, with what I know, with who I am. And so I am excited. I will definitely make a post when it's uploaded onto YouTube. However, it also was a beautiful space of that acknowledgement. I wasn't on live for about 2 weeks, notably because my voice was restricted from travel and speaking quite a bit. However, just sitting in that moment of accomplishment and sitting in that moment of I did it and sitting and truly being present in that moment and what that means and what that feels like. And it felt reassuring. I remember after I stepped off the stage, after giving the TED Talk, of just not answering my phone, not responding to messages, because I truly wanted to be in that moment of feeling that, being present, not sending pictures, and I just want to feel this. I just want to feel this. And I had shared yesterday in the live, it is all worth it. And I can speak like this because I know those excuses and the discomfort and the feeling of, I don't like this, so why don't I stop? And thank you, DJ Show. That may be up next. As soon as things are confirmed, I will update everyone on all of my channels. And thank you. Stopping because of fear doesn't do anything. Thank you, Stephanie Living Life, for liking the live. It doesn't do anything. It actually just keeps you, thank you, DJ Show, it keeps you where you are. It doesn't move you closer to anything. It actually, and fear, thank you for the roses, DJ Show Off. Fear is there to protect us. It's there for some reason to protect us. Thank you for the roses and the heart, T2 Cents. I appreciate you. And so what? Feel the fear and do it anyway. There was this almost fantasy of me not getting on the plane and doing that TED Talk. And then it's like, of course I'm going to do it. I came this far to accomplish. I didn't come this far to say, actually, no, never mind, guys. No, I'm a conqueror. I'm tough. I'm doing what it takes. Someone needs to see this. And guys, I did go up there barefoot. I shared this in the live yesterday because I had to be authentic. I'm in a space of my own authenticity. I do like to feel the earth. I enjoy feeling. I want to feel something. And I truly speak to just aid in confidence, aid in a perspective change, maybe uplift your day. It's a true magic and it's a goal for me. I believe it's a gift that can continue to aid in numerous ways. And when I said, yeah, no, I'm going up there barefoot, it was purposeful. It was purposeful because I had to feel the earth. I had to feel the ground and ground myself. However, it is somewhat of an intimate space to be without shoes and really just speak. And looking at the audience and knowing everything that had transpired up into that moment. The discomfort, the pushing myself to every limit, the doubt, it's always there. And you just continue. So this is why I say I don't care. All of that you're going to feel and keep going. The excuse isn't fear. Fear is actually the reason why you continue to do it. If you're not fearful, it's not that big of a change for you to put up that barrier. You can feel fear. That's a part of it. And you just continue. You just continue. You just continue. I had spoke on my live yesterday about finishing this year strong because this is the fourth quarter. I always say, let's run up from the back where people say, I had no idea. Forget people, because people are lame. For yourself, say, I knew this was in me, but I even surprised myself. That is the goal for the rest of the year, for myself, really for the rest of life. With every accomplishment, it builds upon my own competency. And I speak of this to share with everyone. What's up, cool Aaron? To push yourself. Yeah, you know I self-correct all the time. Thank you, T. To push yourself. To push yourself. Yeah. And a lot of this is derived from this TED Talk. That was really pushing everything in me, from having a sore throat and a headache and not really having my voice and having to not talk and drink tea and just sleep and be in hot showers so the steam could help with my sinuses. But it doesn't matter. Go and perform. Come and do what you were meant to do. In fact, no one even cares. That does add to the story, but come and do what you were meant to do. Instead of using that as an excuse, use that as the reason why you must do it. And I don't know what it is, but there's so much in me that I know that there's much more in you. There's much more in you. And I challenge you to challenge yourself and say, you know what, I'm not waiting, I'm doing it. I am going forward. I am not even trying, because trying, what does that even mean? Do it. Do it. Make it your life's goal to complete, to compete against yourself. Because most people won't even say yes to themselves. But when you do, you see what can be birthed, what can be accomplished. And the warrior of what you really are. It surprises me how we can be these children with dreams and goals and aspirations, and I'm the best person in the sandbox, to within 20 years saying, I can only do this. I only have this accreditation, so I'm only able to do this. I could never travel there. I could never accomplish that. Quit limiting yourself. We are limitless when you believe it. I don't care if a system has taught you that you cannot. You always have been able to. Today is no different. In fact, maybe today is the day that you need to be reminded of the power you are, of the strength of you, of what you have came from, of what you've continued to build yourself as in this entire life, because we've all survived some devastating events in life. But until you're reminded of your greatness, until you're reminded of the power of you, you won't even allow yourself to think of what can be done. In all practical terms, that TED Talk probably wouldn't have been me. Why me? Other than, exactly, that's the other thing. I agree with that. Thank you, Aaron. Every thought is not true. And knowing that you have the power to say, actually, that's not true. I can let that go. That doesn't have anything to do with me. Maybe that's an old pattern, but I don't have to grasp onto that thought and build upon it, or build my identity around it, or build how terrible this day is because a thought ran through my head. It doesn't mean a thing. Now, there comes a power from that, and that takes some steps to get to. Often it takes awareness, and it takes some sort of mindfulness practice. That could be prayer, meditation, being able to quiet your mind enough to, number one, recognize these thoughts, and secondly, recognize that you actually don't have to grab a hold of any of these thoughts. And thank you for sharing that, Aaron, because actually I'll speak on that. That is a power. Because until you're told that, most would assume all my thoughts are from me, generated by me, so they must have some truth to them. That's completely incorrect. Just a minute. It will take everything that you currently are and are not to become what's next. And I'm going to pause this and come right back because there's something. Thank you, Carl. Let me see. Maybe it'll straighten itself out. My connection was on my end not functioning correctly. And I show up for life. I show up for life. You may see me appearing differently when I come on to live because I'm showing up. This ain't a game. I'm showing up. Show up. What does that look like when you really say, I'm showing up for life? This is the best day of my life. Why? Because I said it is. Because I said it is. Because I'm here today. Just a minute. I'm going to restart this, actually. I'm going to just let it figure itself out. What's up, Mag? Smiling daily and shaving. Yes, I love to smile. I do talk to everyone. I do. Thank you, Mag. I do like talking to anyone in the store, or I just enjoy, for the most part, people. And that's how I gain material and maybe exchange great energy by just saying hi and smiling and you look great today. I'm enjoying this thing called life, no matter what the day may bring. I get to dictate it. I'm still going to go through with this uplifted, positive feeling. And if that is how I see life, then yeah, I am unstoppable in every way. So, Mag, we were talking about, what were we talking about? I feel that my message today is a little bit different because thank you, Timothy, because I am inspired, and I'm inspired actually to do less. To do less. And I had spoke on this a few days ago about allowing things to come to me. And when I stepped off of that TED stage after the event was done, there were several people that wanted to speak to me and say how my words affected them. And some woman said, "You're amazing. I really needed to hear this. I know this is a huge accomplishment. And what is next?" And I said, wow, well, what's next is me going to my hotel and taking a shower and going to sleep. Thank you, L Gainer 319. Going to sleep. Good evening, New York. I will allow the next thing to come to me. Let me sit in this space. I just came off stage. I've just delivered this. This has been months and months of buildup. So it's not even me thinking quite yet of what is next. Thank you, Carl, for the heart hands. It's more of me just sitting in this moment and allowing it to come. I will allow what's for me to come to me. And that may come from a space of true, maybe oneness with self. I saw something that said, thank you. When you become present or maybe more aligned with your calling, you are less ambitious. Now, let me break that down. I always will have ambition towards growth for myself. But it's less of the doing, and more of the, it's me. I'm doing enough, and it will come, and things have came, and less of forcing things, more of just going towards what is for me. And of course, I have my tea. And there's something with the look too. Because I shared a couple weeks ago, there were some companies that wanted me to promote. However, I won't promote anything that isn't fully aligned with me. It has to be authentic. It has to be, if it was a tea company, sure. I'm always drinking tea. If it was, yeah, I mean, well, I understand that, tea. I'm under the understanding that whatever is for me will never miss me. However, burnout is not anything that I'm running towards at all. I have been there several times in life. And what's up, Mr. James? am truly in a space of always moving in the direction of where I want to go without knowing that I'm going to miss anything, or with knowing that I'm not going too fast or too slow. I'm always on the right path. There's nothing for me that can be forced. Because if it is, this is like with the TED Talk. I had to tell myself, I have to chill. The words will come. The moment that I just feel I have to do this, that it becomes a bit rigid for me and it doesn't flow. And that's not productive for me. However, we all find our way that works best for us. How do you change? You just, I don't know. Do you want to change, Carl? If you don't want to change, then keep doing what you're doing. However, if you're receiving what you would like, then what is there to change? And maybe you're not forcing anything. Maybe it's your perspective on it. Just change your perspective. Sometimes it's less of the do and more of the view on how you do. And as I said, I'm learning this possibly because, thank you, Joseph. All of this growth, this whole TED thing felt like not a whirlwind, but I did truly learn a lot. I learned a lot in just the act of being, the act of you're doing okay, the act of how we just bring extra discomfort, maybe because that's what we feel that we're supposed to do. When I was at one of the dress rehearsals, the other speakers were really critiquing themselves. And one of the speakers said, you know, I need to do this and I need to do that. And I said, yeah, but you're here. We're all here for just doing what we do. So how can you mess that up? You can't mess anything up. Sometimes that thinking takes us away from the gift for me. For me, it was more so of me just being and actually understanding what that is. I don't have to try. I already am. There's no way I can mess this up. I'm here to empower and motivate with my voice. I can't mess that up. First of all, no one in the audience knows what you're going to say. So it's not like they'll say, hey, you messed up. No one knows. No one knows. Assume that you're going to do great. I'm never going to assume that it's not going to be good, because they're the same thing. If I assume it's bad, if I assume I'm going to do a terrible job, to me it's the same as assuming that I will be great at it and knock it out of the park. I'm always just going to assume that I will do my best. Always. Now, for me, that means actually telling myself, yeah, you'll do great. You're doing great. All you have to do is be here. Go to sleep, drink some water, journal, meditate, go for a walk, take care of yourself, and then go and let it flow. Instead of, I'm not going to do good, I never do good, I feel I'm not going to do. No. Why? Why? Why would you put that on yourself? I think there's a secret that comes with being able to speak life into yourself, no matter what the situation is. And I can say that this is where I win, because I understand why a lot of people have high blood pressure and anxiety. Yes, it's everything. How you speak to yourself shows up in the world. That is everything. And sometimes we're unaware of it because we've been around people. What does that mean, Joseph? I don't understand. What system? You have to I'm asking for clarity because I cannot assume that I know what you're speaking of. When I say speak well to yourself, really speak life into yourself. Tell yourself you're doing great. Listen to your inner dialogue because that may tell you a lot about yourself. It may tell you a lot about your present place. And it can easily be changed. Now it's repetition and it takes time, but that's with everything. And I'm asking this, Joseph, because I don't know what system you're referring to. So clarification. However, this thing called life to me is a mind game. Everything is a mind game. Whether it's getting a job or something with school, it's all a mind game. Whether you have the money in your account or you don't have to show up as less of what you are. That is the mind game part of it. That is the part of just continuing. That is the part of I'm worthy regardless of what shows in the account. That's the mind game. However, as my father would say, most people believe the lie. You believe the lie. If the money's not there, well, then I'm messed up. I can't pay the bill. I feel bad about myself. So what? You're still in this experience. And this is only from my perspective. And I always say, this is my truth. It's not the truth. It's a truth that exists in a world of truths. However, that is magic. To be able to really be on an even keel no matter what happens. So if the money's not there, I can still operate in a positive state. Then if something large does transpire in my life, I can still operate in a positive state. It's the fact of being able, number one, to emotionally regulate yourself. What I have observed is plenty of adults who just have lacked the teaching of emotional regulation. Nothing is that serious. But also knowing that if you can allow yourself to get into that uncomfortable state with something very minimal, that when something large transpires in life, such as the loss of a loved one or a loss of a job, there's no way to regulate yourself. If you can't do it with the small thing, how are you going to manage the big thing? And accept it and move on. It does not need to be carried like through everything in life. I remember, yeah, it doesn't. Thank you. Something with my last car, and I was like, okay, well, move on. I don't need to carry that and say, life is terrible because of my car. That's one small thing. There's so many things in life that I'm grateful for. And I remember that. Anytime something like that happens, I usually will journal and just start saying out loud what I'm grateful for. So instead of saying this, I don't have the money, wow. I do say the exact opposite. I have so much. I have so much to be thankful for. Well, most people exaggerate. What I have observed is individuals exaggerating and constantly speaking about things that may be problems or they just may be lessons that can aid in your life, but repeating these. I don't repeat these things. I saw that a celebrity had transitioned, and I stopped myself. I said, wait a minute, why do I want to share that this person has died? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I always talk about how I don't speak of death. I don't say I did so well, I killed that. I don't need to spread that. Okay, sure. Yeah, Aaron, these things, I absolutely see that. Um, Although it takes awareness, which is key, and awareness takes more than we can imagine. Because when I have become aware that, hey, maybe it is me. I saw something that said very successful people take on a lot of responsibility. So if it was a disagreement with a person, instead of them saying it was them, they would often say, how did I aid in this? How can I rectify this? What did I do to it comes back onto that person, and how powerful that can be. However, being in awareness means that you do take responsibility. And if you don't like taking responsibility of possibly your faults or things that you can grow from, that, and I understand how that can be uncomfortable, then I could see why people would want to stay in a state of unawareness of themselves. And this is all just my perspective. I always will repeat this because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, yeah. You don't even have to apologize, Carl. I wouldn't have known. I didn't even know you were on a phone call. That's the thing with this thing. I'm just talking into a phone. So there was no way that I knew that you were on a phone call. Same thing with individuals when they say, sorry, I'm late. I wouldn't even have known. And nor do I actually care. And the constant state of always apologizing, be aware of that, because that may stem from something else, possibly. However, thank you for coming back. And I'm glad you answered your phone call. So, for the rest of this year, I have a birthday next month, and then some other opportunities that are being built upon. My topic today is pretty free formed because I don't think that, whoa. That was an accident. It's just free flowing today. I had started with something else, but now I'm kind of just talking to some of the hopefuls, and we're just sharing about the wins for the rest of the year, awareness. For me, that comes from, well, I would say, and I asked a friend, because I think a lot can be learned if you ask close friends. I asked a friend, like, am I aware? Do you find me self-aware? She was like, Hope, you are very aware. You are very aware. Ask people, and don't ask. There's certain people that you know you don't need to ask. However, get a census of yourself from those around you and be ready for the honest answer. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what woke means, nor do I adhere to what that is. I am Hope, and that's the only title that I wear with pride. Okay? No, okay. sure. So by asking friends who have known you, what are my strongest abilities? What is something that I would work on? Thank you, Stephanie Living Life. Thank you. How can I improve on just showing up in life? Sometimes, and you can decide what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep. However, that is a good census of asking people, because I've learned how we show up, how we see ourselves is not often how others see us. You know, others see us in their perspective. However, it may be helpful just to know how you show up, because your perception of yourself isn't often how people see you. And let me clarify this. Being aware is not, for me, what woke is. I don't subscribe to that at all. My awareness is awareness of myself, meaning I can feel my feelings and process my feelings, and I'm aware of my feelings. Therefore, I can communicate them to others in respect to the other person as well as myself. That can be beneficial. That's what that means to me. It means that I'm aware that, okay, I'm thirsty. I will drink water. I'm aware I need to exercise. So the two are not the same to me. I have witnessed others in my perspection who have not been aware of themselves. And I had a family member who can be sometimes combative say that they're great at neutralizing arguments. And I thought, whoa. From my perception, you seem not to be aware, because it's most of the time that person that creates the disagreements, and for them to say they are great at disengaging arguments was a shock to actually everyone at the table. Thank you for the heart, me T. However, the beauty of self-realization is knowing you know what can be worked on for you. And this is a constant thing. This is a constant thing. I will also, this is actually what I wanted to speak about, because in this, during the course of, let's say, the past 2 years, and I'm okay with being with myself. I love being with myself. I'm quite confident with myself. Notice I didn't say alone or by myself. I said with myself. And there's a reason why I choose the word with. I am a lover of my time. And I've witnessed, as I've accomplished certain things, a change in, not attitude, a change in a relationship with people who have been in my life. Now, I'm okay with cycles of friendship being done, even within family members. I believe a lot of relationships throughout life are cyclical. And there may be a few that have a different resiliency and will stick around for the entire duration of our lives. However, not all, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. However, I've learned that the safety that I have within myself is beautiful. Because if I possibly didn't have this, it would be uncomfortable when people exit, or when I choose to exit, or when mutually we exit, or when other individuals do not demonstrate your perception of support. That would be the best way to say that. And knowing with anything, I believe, especially with a certain level of ambition, that a lot of time is going to be spent only with you. And that's not only by choice, that's just from pure dedication, or if I'm traveling a lot or reading or just need quiet time, a lot of time is with myself. And being okay with that. Because I do believe when a goal is being pursued, it may shine a light on others not pursuing something that's within them. And that may bring a level of discomfort. And that's okay. I even see it this way. I no longer say, I wish you could be there for me and support me. I can't, no. Everyone has a different perspective. And if you are accomplishing something, it may show another person how they're not reaching for what's within them. And that really has nothing to do with me. However, seeing it in that way allows me the space of compassion. Because when I say I bring it all back to me, I can't force anything upon anyone. In fact, it's for me to say, okay, why am I feeling this way? How does this make me feel? Do I feel supported? Do I feel loved? Do I feel angry? Do I feel sad? You feel sad. Okay, why do you feel sad? Because I don't feel like they're a friend. Okay, what does that mean? Just digging deeper instead of placing labels and brushing it off, asking why to yourself, or for me, for myself. This creates, the why just keeps going deeper, and there's a clarity that comes from it. And what I'm finding is the beauty of introspection is just getting to know parts of yourself that you didn't know. And that's fun. Thank you, T. Thank you for all the roses, T. I've also seen, specifically with Ted, why is that? I want you to go deeper into that, T. Amen to that. That means you related to it in some way. So I would love to know why. Specifically with Ted, because it hasn't been posted yet. But I've seen random people just pop up in my life, which is... I forget about things very, very quickly. I move on to from things quickly because I need that space to be open. I like to be open so I can move on from something without harboring negative anger, sadness, ill will towards anything. I mentioned this yesterday. There's no one that I don't like. I just don't deal with you. I don't feel anything towards you. You just aren't in my life. And you just don't, yes, thank you. Okay, understood. I just don't have that space. I accept it and I move on. And I create that space to just let it exit my life with love. And that's it. If I see you, I mean, I may say hi, but I probably won't. It's very, to me, the most mature way. I don't dislike you. I don't hate you. You just aren't anything to me. It's just a void. And so I think with my LinkedIn, some people who were actually at the TED event had posted some of the professional photos, and I had no idea, like, just some people who've just popped up from that I haven't talked to in like 10 years or more. However, I guess that's a part of it. This live really is just very random, as you see. It's very random. I'm just in a different space, and it's beautiful, and I'm still adjusting. There's that. Yeah. I also say the clarity that came from, I was on a call with a friend of mine in India because I do a lot of like speaking work in India solely because there's a huge population and I'm always looking to better my speaking and grammar. And somewhere like India has an excellent usage of grammar, and individuals who want to perfect their business language or just speaking. And I found clarity of, yes, I speak to give confidence and inspiration. However, I speak to just give confidence in how you speak in every way. So it could be from you seeing me speak and you feel motivated. It could be from a workshop where you then learn how to enunciate and project your voice, and there's confidence when you speak. It could be a workshop where we do some type of what we've been talking about, learning to listen to ourselves, which allows you to show up with confidence, because speaking is not just getting on stage. Speaking is really ultimately how you speak to yourself, and that shows in others. It shows how you interact on your place of business, within school, within interpersonal relationships. It shows. And I had shared with my niece, when you introduce yourself, say your name with pride instead of, there's things that I can pick up on immediately when someone speaks. Now, it's all with love. However, every time you speak, you are saying more with what you're not saying. And finding that clarity in just that, really my mission statement is to give you confidence every time you speak. Confidence when you say, you know what, I deserve a higher rate of pay, without saying, do you think it would be okay if I had more money? No, you go in knowing I deserve this. I'm confident within myself, within the time that I put in, within the work that I put in, and this is what I deserve. That makes a world of difference. Same with interpersonal relationships. Going to someone and saying, I've enjoyed our time. However, I've outgrown this and I wish you well. However, our mutual exclusive relationship is done. And saying that in a way of respect and confidence, knowing that you are doing what's best for you. And I can share that because there's been times I wanted to break up with someone, but I said, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Well, that comes from a space of not feeling worthy, that I have to make sure that they're okay. No longer. It doesn't have to be hurt and anger. It can really be with confidence and respect. Everything can be. A confrontation does not mean I'm fearful of this. A confrontation is just a conversation for me. I don't take it personal. I'm listening to what the person is telling me. I'm not looking at how they're purposely trying to hurt me. There's a difference. And I gained all this clarity in conversation with this friend of mine in India, just simply through business that we're doing. But really, what do I want to do with my voice? Yes, it is to inspire. Really, it is. Because I know I can make you laugh, and I can make you want to run outside and run 10 miles and accomplish this. Sure. That's really what a voice is about. But it's also knowing that you're worthy of your words. What's up, Renee? You're worthy of your words. You're worthy of what you feel. You're worthy of sharing what you feel. You're worthy of occupying every space. You will never say, I can't go over there. They don't like me. Listen, the place is better when I'm there. That's how I walk around. There is no space where I feel a lack of worthiness or undeservingness to be there. And I mean it. When I speak, I want you to leave with that. I want you to leave with the fact of, I deserve it. I am worthy of it, and I can speak it into myself. And when I speak, people listen. Because how would that change your life? Start with just analyzing what you're telling yourself. And don't label it. Don't say, oh, it's bad. I've been telling. The fact that you're aware of it, you've already created a change. But it does start with awareness. It starts with awareness, it starts with grace, and it starts with compassion. Be graceful with yourself. Give yourself grace. You didn't even know that you were saying that to yourself. You thought it was normal. And then move into a space of compassion. I forgive myself for saying this. Now that I know, I will speak better to myself, and I will grow within myself, and I am powerful. And that may have served me at one time, but it no longer does, because I see the love and the beauty and the power that I am, and I will go forward in every moment in that way. You see how different that feels? And I'm sharing this because I just got to this clarity. We were speaking about a company that approached me to promote something, and I know exactly what I will and won't do. And I'm powerful in that sense, because my father would always say, it's never about, the only color that's important is green. Ultimately, it comes down to money. And a brand had approached me to promote, what's up, Paradise? To promote things that I don't promote. I don't wear wigs purposely. This is all intentional. There is a purposeful reason why you see me with this natural short hair. It's purposeful. Some people will get it, but it has to be seen. It has to be seen. Women often just pick themselves apart because of patriarchy, and this is anywhere in the world. However, for me to show up in my truest form is purposeful, especially for anyone who relates to me. I cannot promote something that I don't believe is helpful. Now, if I'm modeling or doing a photo shoot, you may see me with a wig or something. But as soon as they had said, are you open to selling wigs and nails? No, I don't even use that. So it's less of why. I don't even get into the why that was brought to me, because all you have to do is look at all of my TikTok to know that's not a part of me. But I know what I'm worth, and I know what is not for me. And that's powerful. That's powerful. When I say I speak life and I speak power, believe that everything you see is intentional. It may just be helpful for some person to hear these words in the form that I'm in. And I don't even wear fake nails. I'm again, it's not anything negative. I love my natural nails. I have beautiful nails. I always have. So I'm not going to ever do something that, first of all, I don't do, that's not authentic to me. But I did my TED Talk with no shoes on. I'm like as kind of as hippie as they come. Anyone who saw me try to promote that would think like that's kind of strange. But it comes down to knowing yourself, knowing thyself. And also my voice is powerful. I know how powerful my voice is. I know how influential my voice is. And I don't take it lightly. Anything that I say, it's very thought out. Because there are always individuals that actually don't know what to listen to. So because I have such a palatable voice where you want to listen, I can only speak things that are uplifting and full of love. That aids in the world. I would not do anything to tear anything down. And it felt good to say no. However, you got to understand how much power you have. And you've always had it. And this is in my TED Talk whenever it's published. It's always been you. It's not an institution. It's not a brand. It's not a color of hair. It's the beauty and the uniqueness and the power that is individually you. Nothing else. And I find that so powerful because especially with social media, we can be sold things that truly we don't need. But when you understand the power that you have in saying no, the power that you have in saying yes to yourself, I am going to learn more about myself. It's always been you. That's right. That's right. That's how I closed my speech. Or it's most of the speech. That's so powerful. It's always been you. Hello, Michael. It's always been you. It's not the brand of shoes you wear, or the car you drive. It's you. There's something special about you. Appreciate it, water it, let it grow. And once you see that power that is you, you will forget like, oh, I don't actually need this to give the validation that I already have within me. It's you. It's always been you. At the core, that's always my message. It's always been you, the beauty of you, the beauty that you felt when you were a toddler, that life happens. And sometimes we forget how beautiful we are, how resilient we are, how powerful we are, how funny we are, how many people we've aided in this life, how we've forgiven ourselves, how we've made mistakes. But it's us. It's a part of the journey. Get plugged back into you. Sometimes just turn off everything and plug into you. Listen to you. Inspire you. Comfort you. Let you bloom. There's times where we give so much of ourselves to everything outside of us that we even forget it is actually about you. This experience is about you. The people at the job will forget about you within a week. This thing is supposed to be enjoyed, this thing called life. Start to find out how to enjoy it. What makes you smile? What gives you your vigor, your glow? Maybe it's just sitting there with a cup of water saying, man, I'm doing okay. But start. It's only getting better. I say that as well. Learn how to, when something goes wrong, just start naming the complete opposite. That's what I do. Oh, how can today get even worse? How can today get even better? How can I feel even more loved? What's more in this day that's waiting for me? Start training yourself to speak life instead of speaking so much detriment into your life. Start speaking about what you want. Stop repeating what you don't want. If your car broke down, you don't have to tell 50 people. You can say, okay, all right, and go on with your day. Tell yourself better questions. Ask yourself better questions. Tell yourself better answers. Why do I feel so good today? Why is everything working out? And it sounds nuts, but guess what? It sounds even worse when you start saying, show me how much worse it can get. You're going to see it. Just try it. The illusion of what you see is really illusion. You can always just shift your perspective. But it does come down to you. And it's always been you. So, this was just a very wide, fluid, flowing live. I'm going to start going live also on, or doing some different types of workshops on LinkedIn. I don't know if anyone's on LinkedIn. Yes, thank you, cool, Aaron, and thank you for the follow, because I followed you. I always like your little words of wisdom. You are definitely a light. I attract light. Light attracts light. So as I said, there are things that will be discussed that the TikTok family will know. Because I knew about TED for well over a year, almost 2 years, because it was told to me last year. It was supposed to happen last year, and then something fell through, and so then it happened again this year. Just know there's always things happening. I just don't speak of it until it's basically done. So that's your hope for today, that it's you. It's always been you. Okay, yeah. Find me. Hope is Speaking. Look up Hope is Speaking. And inspire yourself. Just dream about how good it could be and see what happens. Always be the inspiration of love. Be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. I love my wing liner. I'm getting back into my makeup artistry. It just invigorates me. Show up. I showed up today. I didn't really have a topic, but I said I'm showing up. So I'm showing up, and make it look good when you show up. Become your own hero. Because you can save you. I don't think you need saving. You may just need to get back to what you are, the essence of you. However, you have everything that you need to become that. So I love you all. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to upload a lot of lives that I didn't upload while I was in Germany onto my YouTube page. So go subscribe to my YouTube. I'm just under 500 subscribers. Will get to that 500 subscriber mark when you go subscribe, and you can watch all of my lives as well as other things that are and have been uploaded. Therefore, thank you. Continue to support, and make today the best day of your life, because it is. It's the only one you're present in. I'll see you tomorrow.